Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Footballers, and today I'm doing Game Week 32 predictions of the Premier League, and I'm going to be starting off on the 6th of April. It is at Selhurst Park. It is Crystal Palace versus Manchester City, and well, Manchester City winning up 4-1 against Aston Villa. They do not need Haaland because Phil Foden's there to bang in a hat-trick. What is it, like 21 goals in all competitions or something like that? Absolutely fantastic. Phil Foden is cooking this season, absolutely fantastic, and they're going against Crystal Palace. I mean, is there any more to say than it's going to be a Man City win? Oliver Glanzer, I think really this season, Crystal Palace just want to stay up and get the season over and done with, then they'll try and rework it next season. Oliver Glanzer, 5 points the last 5 games. It's not on the same level as Man City, is it really? So I'm going to go comfortable for Manchester City. I'm going to say 2-0 to the away side, Manchester City. Moving on to the next game is at the Molineux Stadium. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus West Ham United. West Ham United at the London Stadium managed to get a point against Spuds. That was a good point, you know. That was very good. Against 5th place, I believe. A point is very good for West Ham United. They're definitely on to hit European football, but there's still a few competitors around them. And Wolves, they're playing fantastic. And you know what? I don't know what the referee was thinking, but that was definitely a slip, not a foul on Norori. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. I may have completely got that wrong. But Norori, in my opinion, he slipped. I think everyone else's opinion, he slipped. They should have really lost that game. It was because of that slip they went on to get an equaliser. But still, other than that, Wolves playing really well. You know, they gave it a great shot at Villa Park. Obviously didn't come away with a win, but it was fine. It's against Aston Villa. Overall, Wolves, I think they're a fantastic side. And West Ham United, they're pushing for Conference League football. So are Wolves, both trying to get to that European football. But I can't split them. That's the problem. I cannot split them. Even with Wolves at home, I still don't know who's going to win this. It's so hard to predict. I don't want to be a boring guy, but I'm going to go down the middle. I'm going to go high scoring, and I'm going to go 2-2. Come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at Goodison Park. It's Everton versus Burnley. What a crucial game for the other end of the table in the relegation fight. Burnley, last 4 games undefeated in the Premier League, 3 of which have been a draw. Like I said, I felt like they probably should have got a win, but obviously that slipping over was absolutely crazy decision by the referees. But Burnley, they're away at Goodison Park. You know what, Everton, they need 3 points. They haven't won for a very, very long time, you know, Everton. You know what? They were lucky to get a point against Newcastle United. I mean, it's one man that made it happen. It was Jordan Pickford, absolutely bonkers goalkeeper. He's fantastic. He kept Everton in that game very nicely tight, save after save, and they managed to get a point because of Paul Dammer at the end conceding a penalty. Everton, they should have lost the last game, but that point was definitely needed against a Newcastle United side, which are doing much better than the Everton side. But Burnley, they're doing fantastic. The momentum that they show. Vincent Kompany, nothing goes his way. You know what? I was so tempted to go 2-1 to Burnley because of how well they looked and how determined they were, like against Chelsea, going down to 10 men and then Vincent Kompany getting sent off. How determined they were. Yeah, I'm going into this game. Everton, they also need 3 points. Both teams need 3 points as much as the other. So I don't want to do it again. I was so close going 2-1 to Burnley. I am going to go down the middle, sit on the fence, and I'm going 1-1 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it is at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Brentford. And well, Brentford, they drew it 0-0 against Brighton. That's back-to-back draws now. Drew 1-1 against Manchester United. Like I said, they should have definitely won that game against Manchester United. Against Brighton, out of the 2 teams, they're probably the worst team in that game, but they still managed to get a draw, which is a very good point against a Brighton side, which are kind of in that Conference League fighting position. But coming into this game, Brentford aren't going down. Even if they keep up this form, I feel like 33 points is going to be enough. That's probably what they're going to hit at the end of the day. They're definitely too good to go down. Next season should be a much better season if they keep the likes of Ivan Toney at the club. But I am going to have to go against Brentford, and I am going to go to Aston Villa to win this, especially at Villa Park. Considering Aston Villa lost at 4-1 against Man City, them wanting to bounce back, there's no way they're not going to take advantage of Brentford's bad form. And I'm going to go just about to Aston Villa 2-1 to Aston Villa at Villa Park. Moving on to the next game, Zach Craven Cottage. It's Fulham versus Newcastle United. Oof, this is a tough one. I don't want to be biased. That's the problem. Fulham, you don't know what Fulham's going to play because they have had spells this season. They have had like long spells. Like they've had 5-game spells where they're fantastic. They've had 5-game spells where they've been meh. 5-game spells where they've been bleh. And they're kind of in between. They're currently sitting in 13th. They're definitely not going down. 39 points. We're definitely keeping up specifically this season. European football's not too far away though. I think they're like 6 points off it. So they still could get European football. Considering they only got 3-3 draw against Sheffield United. And they lost to Nottingham Forest 3-1. Yeah, but still that's a quality side. That side's still quality. They still won against the likes of Tottenham 3-0. Not just a simple win. It was a thrashing. It's going to be a close game. I feel like Newcastle, the last 2 games, they were definitely the dominant side. Anthony Gordon also is returning, which is a huge plus. And Lewis Hall's playing fantastic in that left-back position. Honestly, sensational. Dan Burn still putting in an absolute great shift. And I feel like he maybe plays better in that centre-back position, in my opinion. And Lewis Hall's looking good. Newcastle United obviously still got 11 unavailable players. I want to go down the middle, but I just feel like Newcastle, with Anthony Gordon now returning, Harvey Barnes, fantastic, the goal contribution king. He always gets it done in terms of goal contributions. What a great assist to Isak. I feel like Newcastle look better at the moment. I mean, in the table, they're higher up. In my opinion, they're looking better, especially the last couple of games. Fulham have been a bit shaky. Only a draw against Sheffield United and a loss against Nottingham Forest. So I may be a bit biased. I'm going to go for the away winners in this one. It's going to be Newcastle United 2, Fulham 1. Moving on to the next game is at Kenilworth Road. It's Luton Town versus Bournemouth. And obviously, quite recently, in the reverse fixture, Luton Town went 3-0 up at the Vitality Stadium. But then Bournemouth came back 4-3. And now Bournemouth are just 5 points off the record season in the Premier League under Iraola. They could be on for European football. They're not too far away. You know, they're just, what, 4 points away from 7th place West Ham United? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's amazing. Bournemouth, last 5 games, 4 wins, 1 draw. Unbeaten in the last 5. And, well, especially how they started the season, they have completely recovered it. Iraola's been a great manager, but it's at Kenilworth Road. And at the end of the day, football can sometimes have a shocker, a bit of randomising. But Luton Town, you know what? They're always in the game. Yes, they lost 2-0, but they were quite tight a lot of the game. Yes, they weren't dominant, but they did try and stay in the game as long as possible and keep it tight. And in this game, it's definitely going to be tight. But at Kenilworth Road, the fact that Luton have got so much to fight for, and the fight is fantastic, and it's never easy to go to Kenilworth Road, I'm going for Luton to win this, but it's going to be high scoring. And I wouldn't be surprised for a Bournemouth win, because realistically, Bournemouth are a better side. They look fantastic against Crystal Palace. But I am going to have to go Luton Town. Home advantage. They're desperate to stay up. I'm going 3-2. Absolute 5-goal thriller. Moving on to the next game is at the Amex Stadium. It is Brighton Hounds of Albion versus Arsenal. And well, this game's going to be interesting because Arsenal, I believe, did get like battered against Brighton around this time last season. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that was kind of their downfall. Could there be an upset? Brighton, they create so many opportunities against Brentford. So many. De Zerbi's face. That was absolutely great. He was so frustrated that Brighton didn't get any goals in that game against Brentford. And is De Zerbi going to stay next season? I have no clue. It's going to be tough for Brighton in this game. But home advantage, usually for most Premier League clubs, home advantage is a good thing and an advantage. That's why I called it home advantage. They've got home advantage. Arsenal, they bottled the league last year. And I feel like Brighton, they can surprise you. The inconsistency is crazy. And they have battered teams like Arsenal before in the past. And I feel like they can do it again. I could be an absolutely mug for saying this. Do I go with the safe option and see Arsenal to win it? Do I go down the middle for both sides? Or do I go for an absolute shocker to Brighton to win it? They're home. This game, the way Brighton seem to always surprise me sometimes with how they managed to win against big teams last season, and they still got it. I feel like Brighton looked really good against Brentford. I'm going for it. I'm going for a shock. I'm going to stop waffling. Sorry, Arsenal fans, but I'm going Brighton 3, Arsenal 1, come the final whistle. Future me here, I don't know what I said. I'm kind of regretting my option right now. I kind of want to go to Arsenal, but what's done is done. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans. I'm kind of regretting me going 3-1. But if I get it right, I'm a genius. Back to the video. Moving on to the next game. It's a whole new day. It's the 7th of April. It is Manchester United versus Liverpool. And well, this is the game that is on the thumbnail because it is probably game of game week 32 this week. Yeah, I mean, last time these two teams played, Manchester United did win at 4-3. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen again, considering they did not play well against Brentford. And can I say they haven't actually played against Chelsea yet. I said it will be a 2-1 win to Chelsea. Wouldn't be too surprised for a 2-all. If that does come to reality, I don't think it will really change this game. But Liverpool, they're looking good than ever. At the moment of time of recording, Liverpool are winning 1-0 against Sheffield United, which is no surprise. I'm sure that's going to extend. By the time you see this video, it's probably, you've got the final scoreline. But I'm going to have to go Liverpool. I mean, it's obvious. They're in the title race. Manchester United should have got thrashed against Brentford. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. I'm going for an absolute battering. I'm going 4-1 to Liverpool come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game. It is at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United versus Chelsea. You know what? I looked at this and I was thinking that could definitely be a draw. In my opinion, I look at that. That is draw worthy. Sheffield United at home. At the moment, it looks like they're keeping it close against Liverpool. They've been all right in the last couple of games. Maybe it could be a draw. I was looking maybe a 0-0, 1-1 draw. Sheffield United at home. You know how Chelsea's inconsistency is. But you know what? They are in good form. And I'm assuming they're not going to lose against Manchester United. They're either going to draw or win that game. Obviously, that hasn't been played yet. I'll be more confident if Chelsea were home. But I'm going to have to nick Chelsea. I've already went for Brighton shocker against Arsenal. I've already went that way. I'm not going to go for another shocker. I am going to go Chelsea, only just about, low scoring. I'm going 1-0 to Chelsea. Moving on to the next game, is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Tottenham Hotspur versus Nottingham Forest. And well, Tottenham Hotspur, set pieces a bit concerning in that West Ham game, Set pieces are a bit concerning, considering usually set pieces are in the air. And the aerial threat of Chris Wood is crazy. His heading is sensational. I don't know the exact stat. I think it's like 9 goals in the last 8 games. Correct me if I'm wrong again. But Chris Wood, scoring. He's definitely going to score in this game. I think there's going to be a lot of goals because, Tottenham, their set-piece defending isn't fantastic. Considering Chris Wood can get in a header or two, I feel like Nottingham Forest will be able to get 2 goals in the game. But Tottenham's attack, Brennan Johnson's positioning, how he gets into those positions is fantastic. Timo Werner getting the assist. And then you've got the almighty Son in that team as well. That attack is good. Obviously, you've still got a decent defence on Doggy. But like I said, their set-piece defending isn't fantastic. So I'm going to go Tottenham 4, Nottingham Forest 2. Well, that will be the end of the video. And I don't actually hold the goal of Game Week 32. That will be in the next video purely because of one reason. They haven't played yet of time of recording. Same goes with my points. I'll points up all the tally for this week and next week in the next video. But if you did enjoy this video, why not check out this banger of a video? Go on, click. It's simple. Go on, click. Toodle pip.